Hey, what is up, guys? Oblivious here, and today we're going to be doing another Black Ops 3 best class setup. Today is going to be the VMP because I think after the most recent update with they definitely they increased the recoil for the Vesper a lot, so it's kind of like a good idea just to be using a new more close range weapon because the Vesper was actually overpowered as fuck. It was just so good from close range because it shot so fast, had literally just no recoil. All you had to really use was quick draw. It was like a very big game battles kind of thing. Like I remember all the big game battle players would just use the Vesper as a secondary and then an M887. But with the new update, as I said, the recoil they increased a shit ton. So now it's not even, it's still usable, but it's still pretty hard to handle. Actually, you'll see in this gameplay, which is actually probably I guess you could say my second best gameplay to date, just because it's a 28 gun streak or something like that with the VMP. Obviously, this episode's gonna be with the VMP, but I actually died at the very end because I had picked up a Vesper and it was it had a red dot and no grip or something like that, and it was actually just being crazy. But so today is gonna be about the VMP, as I said. So obviously we're gonna jump right into the class, and the VMP is obviously the weapon I use, and the attachments I use on are silencer, grip, and quick draw. Quick draw and grip are literally the first two things you unlock with this gun, and there's not really much explaining to do. Quick draw, you can just see a lot of close range situations. It just helps out a lot because when you aim in with this gun, I feel like it's very deadly. The hip fire is pretty good too, but I mean once you aim in, it's so much more worth it to actually aim in than just to hip fire and hope for a kill or something like that when you're at close range. And you'll see that many times throughout the video that I do that. And grip obviously just helps you can control it a little bit more. I have yet to use it without grip. I mean, I obviously used it without grip originally just so I could actually eventually unlock grip, but I haven't tried it without grip anytime recently. I was thinking about taking off grip and putting on long barrel or something like that, or maybe high caliber or fast mags or something like that. But right now I'm just using this class setup and I really like it a lot. And then those are the three attachments I use for it. Obviously you have to use one of the whatever it's called, the primary gun fighters or whatever, just so you can have three attachments for your gun. I use a sight for it because I think the VMP with a sight fucking sucks. And and also throughout this video you also, excuse me by the way, throughout this video you also see me pick up a lot of weapons. Right now obviously I have the Man of War. I think I pick up a Vesper. I picked up a Black Cell a second ago, and I think later I pick up another weapon too, and I can't remember what the fuck. As Shiva I pick up. So I mean it's just kind of a ragtag bunch of streaks just because the VMP ran out of ammo. I actually don't, with the level I am right now, I don't have Scavenger, even though this was probably yesterday, so I'm probably a few levels higher already, and I probably actually do have Scavenger, but when this gameplay was still out, I did not have Scavenger at the moment, so I couldn't use that. So, I mean, if you want to use Scavenger on this class setup, you can, but I prefer not to, just because you can pick up weapons, even though that was kind of my downfall, is the fact that I had to pick up a weapon, and I picked up a pretty shitty weapon. But now we're going to move on to the perks, because I never, as if you've ever seen any of my other class setups, I never really use a secondary or grenades or tacticals or anything like that, just because I don't really think they're worth it, because I've literally thrown 700 grenades and have 20 kills. It's just my percentage rate's not really that good with them. It's obviously way better than that, but it's not as good as I would hope it to be, so I just decide to use more perks and stuff like that. So as my perk one, I actually use Sixth Sense. I usually, if you've seen all my other class setups, you've seen that I use mostly Ghost and Sixth Sense, but this class I just use the Sixth Sense. My kind of idea for that is that if I kill them enough, they will never get a UAV, so I don't have to worry about being on the minimap, which kind of has backfired a few times. If I join a game halfway through and I'm getting UAV'd, I have really no say in what's happening. And you also have to depend on your teammates for not being too shitty and just letting up UAVs and stuff like that. So I mean, you can kind of switch out either one. I like Sixth Sense just because I'm constantly in their spawn and it really helps out. You can see I say I'll wait behind a doorway and I can see when the guy's coming. I can prepare for him and stuff like that. And then for perk 2, I use Fast Hands. I think it's just my favorite out of those. I mean, yeah, as I said, you could probably switch it out with Scavenger here, because Fast Hands isn't completely necessary, and Scavenger can be super helpful if you're really trying to get a very good gun streak, as I said, because you want to kind of keep up with it. I was just lucky enough to have this gun streak in the gameplay over 2 halves, so I could get a full clip back after the end. And then my last 2 perks are Blast Suppressor and Gung Ho. Gung Ho just helps you aim in fast, or you can hip fire or whatever while sprinting or something like that. Your gun is already ready up while sprinting, which is super helpful because I'm constantly running. And Blast Suppressor I just started using, and it's so helpful because if I can constantly just start just dashing around the map, doing random jumps everywhere, and just getting around faster and not having to worry about getting on the map. Because originally when this game came out, I thought that the bleep that came up in this game was way less than it was in Advanced Warfare, which it was, but it's still very helpful to not have that on the minimap just for location purposes. So this is actually the end of the gameplay. Hope you guys enjoyed. I use also I use hate, like the kill streaks I usually run for this are like ones I use now, or I'll just switch it around and use a town or something like that, or you just use like UAV counter, UAV hater, just to go if I'm like going for a nuclear. So have a great day, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe to this channel. Have a great day and goodbye.